Greetings, friends! A couple weeks ago, during the Feast of Unleavened Bread, Lacie got this for me, a shofar. And I've been wanting one of these for some time now. And it just got here recently, and I opened it up and I was super excited because I was like, oh, I've been wanting a shofar for so long now. So opened it up, went outside to give it a go, and when I went to blow on it, this is what happened. That ain't it. That is hard. So I was really surprised. I was like, whoa, there's actually some technique involved here of actually blowing on this thing. So I've been practicing, and what you just heard right there, well, that was the result of me practicing, doing a lot of practice the last 24 hours or so. So I know I still got my work cut out for me, for those of you who are really good at blowing on a shofar. So I look forward to practicing more and more. Get better. Just be patient with me. So I put my shofar away in a really neat carrying case that it came with, I must say. And it's time to get to work. And today, one of the main things that we're going to be working on is cucumbers. We have a number of different cucumbers that we have growing that we need to transplant them. As you can see here, a lot of these things, they're ready to be transplanted, and we need to get them in the ground. So we're going to do that. But before we do that, I have a number of things that we need to do. So we're just going to give them a little bit of water before we transplant them, keep things from drying out. I have a number of different cucumbers that we're going to be transplanting. We have a market moor here, we have a tender green one here, a miniature, Armenian, I think this one's a China Jade or something, yep. So we've been trying a number of different ones, but we really like the ones that are prolific and burpless if we can too. So we're just continuing each year to kind of experiment with different varieties, and they're from Baker Creek, all these different varieties that we enjoy growing. So that's that. Hey guys. Alrighty. So doing cucumbers today. With cucumbers, I'm usually reminded of ancient Israel, and that was one of their complaints when they came out of Egypt, was they complained about not having melons, cucumbers, and leeks. So we have leeks growing in the greenhouse, and we're going to be putting cucumbers in the greenhouse. We don't have melons out yet, but we do have something started over there that I was just watering with the other cucumbers. So one of the things I remember about that story is they were just complaining. They had come out of slavery and bondage, and they were looking back at that time as being a good time. And they were complaining about the manna that was miraculously falling from the sky to provide their need every day. They didn't have to start it, they didn't have to grow it, they didn't have to water. All they did is have to pick it up and prepare it and eat it. So it kind of makes me think, and I think we all should think of, what are some areas that we're complaining about and that we're so focused on what others may have or what we used to have that we're neglecting and fail to see the blessings and the miracles that are right before our eyes.
That's right.
So,
and it tasted like honey.
Yeah, it did. The manna tasted like honey, so I'm sure it was like this super nutrient dense food that was just, that they didn't have to really do much for except gather it each day. But yep, they yearned and looked back at bondage, and they were complaining. So hopefully there's no complainers here today. So that is something we try to work on. All of us try to work on not being complainers, because nobody wants to hear complaints. You don't want to hear complaints? I don't want to hear complaints. So no complaints today, no complaining. So Sailor, you knocked out the food scraps already?
Yep.
You did a fine job with that. She has these bins that she carries out when it's time to carry out the food scraps. She takes them to the compost pile, pours them out into the compost, and covers them right up. Thanks for doing that.
You're welcome.
All right, so ladies, if you could go ahead inside the greenhouse, take out the cilantro, pull it out, and any of the old cabbage that we have, pull it out. I'm gonna be working on up there at the high tunnel. So we're gonna have cucumbers growing here in our greenhouse, which is right near our house, which is our yurt. And we're also going to have some things growing in the high tunnel where we have tomatoes already growing in the two center rows, but we're also going to have cucumbers growing on the outer rows. So I'm going to be working on that while you ladies are here. So knock it out, ladies.
Sounds like a plan.
Alrighty, here at the high tunnel is where I have the 2 rows of tomatoes that we transplanted just the other day, growing down the center of our high tunnel here. So next, I'm going to be drilling holes in the outsides on one row going down the side here, and then another row going down the side here. But before I do so, I had to run a line, just a rope temporarily, so that way I can line up the marks that I'm going to be making for the holes in these to run my rope wire here to hold up our tomahawks that we have. We're going to be using tomahawks for the tomatoes as well as the cucumbers, and it really makes growing them so much easier, growing cucumbers. We've grown them up along cattle panels before, which works. We've grown them up along the fences, which sometimes can work depending on the weed pressure, grass pressure that you have around there. But I really like growing them on tomahawks, and I love growing the indeterminate tomatoes on there as well. It really makes a big difference from managing them and keeping the weeds down, as well as being able to easily harvest them. So just imagine the wire running here with the tomahawks on, and just being able to harvest the cucumbers just like that, not having to bend over on the ground to get them. It makes a world of difference. Well, I'm going to be working here, and as I am today, I'm sporting our shirt from our friends at Bigfoot Farmer YouTube channel, and if you haven't seen their channel, check out their channel. They're a really good family, and they're doing some pretty neat stuff with homesteading as well, so check out their channel while I'm working here.
So while Mike is up at the high tunnel finishing that up and getting ready to put the cucumbers up there, we are going to be in here cleaning out some beds, but we have a few helpers and I want to show you what I mean. Who knew that Ant-Man and Iron Patriot were here to help us?
Oh, there's more.
Or, oh wait, Ken's chilling out, relaxing in the lettuce.
She's sitting over here.
We have this lovely lady right here with a strawberry flower in her hair.
We have Ant-Man crawling around.
Another Ant-Man. But wait, there's more. Oh, well look here. These people are laying down on the job for real.
There's Barbie.
Barbie. We have a stormtrooper.
We have War Machine.
War Machine is going after the stormtrooper.
And
Black Panther is right here.
we have Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Another Barbie.
Oh look, this Barbie is showing us the cabbage that we need to pull out because it's going to seed. Here's Black Widow. She must have fought a hard fight because she's barely hanging on. And if you look further down, you see the Hulk. It's always interesting what we find out here in the greenhouse because this isn't the first time that all the superheroes, the Avengers, have united together to save the greenhouse.
Tony Stark is having technical difficulties.
Iron Man flew into the tomahawk and got all tangled up. Which reminds me, Mike mentioned the tomahawks in a couple videos ago, and I had added it to the description, but somehow it didn't get saved, and so a lot of people were asking like where to get those. You can get them from Johnny's Seeds, but you have to buy at least 100, and then I'm going to put another link where you can buy them from Amazon, and you can buy them in smaller quantities. Well, there is a lot of work that needs to be done out here. These tomatoes need to be pruned because they're already getting suckers on them. But before we do that, we're gonna get over here and start pulling out this cilantro that's getting ready to go to seed, and also the cabbage. Are y'all ready to help me?
Yep. Yep.
What?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, let's get started.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
There was sun and there was rain, beauty in the Monday. And as the light sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy we go, easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all.
You got another one?
Yeah.
Okay, Sayla, you're doing a great job. We're actually going to leave some of this cilantro to go to seed because I would like some coriander seeds. If you didn't know, cilantro seeds are coriander, and I really enjoy using them to cook with. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave this bunch right here. Yeah,
Leave the Brady Bunch.
leave that right there. These shorter ones, you can go ahead and pull those out.
Okay.
Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all.
Oh, put a flower in your hair, right?
It's bigger than my face.
A couple times.
Dreamy, breezy we go, easy, easy on our tiptoes.
Well, now that we got a full load, we need to take all of this goodness to the animals. So do you think the goats will really like this?
Yep.
Maybe we'll give some to the chickens too while we're on the way.
Alrighty, so we got this side done, but the wind has been going crazy, as you saw in time lapse. So I'm gonna hold off on doing this side, just because as I'm drilling these holes, little pieces of scrap metal falls down, and with the wind blowing, it could blow them in other places I don't want it to go. So I have been just having a tarp and something underneath me as I'm drilling. Maybe you'll see some little sparkly things. That's some of the scrap metal there. So I do not want that in any of our produce. That would be not good. So I'm gonna hold off on doing the other side today. We'll wait till tomorrow or something when it's not as windy and it can just fall down more controllably where I want it to on the tarp. Well, oh, here comes Lacie and Sayla. Getting all done, ladies?
Yep.
This what all you pulled out of the greenhouse?
Yep.
Yes,
Alrighty, they going to the goats.
Yep.
they're gonna enjoy it. I know it.
There we go. This is perfect timing too. Because after you get done doing this, you can help me plant some cucumbers right in here. Great attitudes. Nobody's complaining here today. No complaining. Did Sayla complain when you were over there working with mommy?
No, she did not complain.
One of the things that we try to remember around here is the Bible verse that says, do all things without complaining or disputing. We're not always perfect with that, but we strive to. It's something we have to remind each other about, right?
And dispute.
And disputing.
Not or. And.
Do all things without complaining and disputing. Eat it up, ladies.
One savage.
Hey there. This one's my favorite.
Hazel.
Eat it up, ladies. Eat it up, ladies. Right now, we currently don't have a gentleman in there. We need one, but we'll have to work on that because we need some more milk and we need some few babies. What do you think about that, Hazel? You're my favorite.
This is for the chicken.
All right, you say one for the chicken?
Yeah.
All right. And so once you're done feeding that to the chickens, meet us over here in the high tunnel.
Dad.
Alrighty, we're gonna plant our Market More cucumbers here. And the Market More is a really good one. It's named Market More for a reason, because it really is a good market garden cucumber to grow. So we're gonna grow growing here. And one trick that I have learned recently of making your holes, especially if you have some soil that's a little tight, just use a drill and just see here, that's pretty tight, so we're just making our hole there, loosen up that soil. There you go, don't have to worry about doing that by hand. There you go, ready to go in there. And with our plant spacing on our cucumbers and our tomatoes, we do right at 12 inches. I must say, this is my new favorite way of putting transplants in. Having a 3-person rotation and using this drill here as a dibbler, or as Micah, he's running around right now, as he calls it, a dribbler. So I make the holes, Sailor pulls them out of the tray, and Lacie puts them in the hole. As well as with a little bit of good potting soil here. Really helps out with clay instead of having to dig with a trowel or something. Use that. Like that. Loosen that up.
Dad, you want to see something?
What you got there? Ooh, that drill bit may work. Might try that one another time. So I've been using this one here, which is really good for making holes. But this one might be good too. It'd be neat if there was a combo of the two. It was a larger, bigger one. Somebody probably makes that already. Well, after we transplanted the cube, Mike tested out his drill bit that he picked out to see how it worked as a dibbler. Next, I got to work shoveling leaf mulch to spread around our plants in the high tone. And while I was shoveling, I couldn't help but practice my lip technique for my shofar. And after spreading out the leaf mulch around the tomatoes and cucumber plants, it not only made a difference aesthetically, it will also help to retain moisture around the plants. And speaking of moisture, after I finished spreading out the mulch, I watered the plants. And once again, it was time to practice my lip technique for my shofar. Even though it felt and may look kind of silly. Regretfully, growing up, I never learned to play a musical instrument. This wasn't one of those things that was encouraged of me. However, I am trying to encourage our children to play an instrument. For example, Selah is learning to play the piano. The two boys, well, they're still trying to figure out what they want to learn to play. But hey, they're gonna start learning something. It's just really, really good for you. And one of the things that I try to impress on the children, and even myself, remind myself, is if you want to be good at something, don't complain that you can't do it. Just put the work in and you'll get better. Whatever it is in life, just put the work in. Don't complain. Well, back here in the greenhouse where Lacie and Selah were working, they did a fabulous job removing the cilantro and cabbage and cleaning up the beds for me. So we're going to be getting ready to put these cucumbers in that bed behind me. But I must say, I really like these trays with these plugs here. They're really good for transplants. And one of the things that I want to mention is if there's ever anything featured in this video or things that we like to share, that could really benefit you guys, we like to include it in the show notes below of every video. So make sure you check that out, each video, because you might find all kind of helpful resources to help you out, whether it be gardening, with your family, or whatever it is, or even sometimes just about your faith and fitness. So make sure you check out those links below. Well, that's it for now. I gotta finish this job. The day is getting going, almost over. Still got a few hours left, but putting the work in. Hope you guys are putting in the work in. And let me know in the comment section below. Did you ever learn to play an instrument? Do you know how to play an instrument? Let me know. I'd like to know what instruments you like to play. So maybe it can give the boys some ideas of what maybe they would like to learn to play. See you next time. God willing, I'm gonna get better at that shofar. I'm gonna put the work in, I'm not gonna complain, and I'm gonna be better. Just wait, you'll see.